I'm back with the third episode of Let's Play Planet Coaster here on Theme Park Worldwide. Now, back in episode 1, I put in the lake, all the footpaths around the area, and also some of the buildings without the details on. In this episode, it's going to be about giving detail to all of these buildings all around my Mediterranean entrance area. And I must say, you guys have come up with some fantastic ideas in the comments. I'm loving all your different suggestions for different areas, rides, and I like to keep these as interactive as possible, so keep commenting down below on the different things you'd like to see built inside this park. Now, as you can see just here, it's all going to be about putting these little details in that make the buildings look something special. Now, they're all going to be following the same sort of theme, as you're going to see with this, really. And that's why it's a bit of a shorter episode, this one. Mainly because, obviously, when I'm doing the same sort of building styles, it's all the same kind of building technique. So I didn't want to bore you with an hour's worth of footage of me doing the same style of buildings. What you're seeing here in this episode is about 3.5 hours worth of real-time footage, what's been sped up. I've also cut little bits out where I changed a few things, and yeah, so I didn't want to bore you with all that footage. I thought, let's skim it right down so you guys get to just see the highlights of it and get the gist of what I was doing with these buildings. But yeah, it's a Mediterranean style, and you can see here I've got various shops, restaurants going in. You've got like a fake hotel there on the corner, which I've put in Spanish on there as well. And then you're going to have all like these fake like houses and like a street all down the side. Obviously we're in a studios park, it's movie based, but this actual entrance and the Floorless Coaster is more like a Mediterranean set piece than it is an actual film. We are going to start moving into the films when we go out of this area, so yeah, again, keep your suggestions coming in. I can confirm I'm definitely going to be doing a Back to the Future area. I spoke about it quite a lot in the last episode, and you guys really want to see that as well, so I'll definitely do Back to the Future. And there's a few other things you guys want to see as well, and yeah, there's a lot of films and stuff that I have watched that I really want to put inside this park, so keep your suggestions coming in. I love looking down below in the comments. So there you can see that's the station building just inside there for the backlot tour. That's going to be the focus of the next episode, episode 4, where I'm going to be doing all the backlot tour, or at least most of it. I'm not too sure how long it's going to take, because to be honest, that's going to be a really time-consuming project. But yeah, it's looking good so far. A few more trees and rocks to going down the side just here as well, and like I say, it's all using the same sort of feel with it here. Obviously the buildings are like in this yellow cream style colour. I'm using like all the wooden blocks and things on the top to add to that and make them look well, Mediterranean, like old school Mediterranean style we're going for here, like wooden buildings and things. So yeah, it's kind of got a bit of a Wild West feel to it, but it's a lot brighter and not as run down, so to speak, as what a Wild West area would be. And you can see here I'm just putting in some buntings along there. Obviously I've got the umbrellas. I think I'm going to change the colour of those umbrellas. I don't think they work now. They need to be a bit brighter. Them blue ones I think look alright, but these brown ones I'm not too sure. Yeah, just putting in some permanent lighting on there as well. Obviously lighting is going to be a big feature for this park. Now this building I'm starting to work on here is actually going to be one of the most iconic buildings on the entrance, if not the most important, mainly because of where it's positioned. This is actually built direct in line with the archway that's in the middle of the entrance to the park. So you'll see every so often I keep looking backwards just to see how it looks through the archway. It's going to be a real focal building, and obviously when we do events and things in this park, such as Christmas, Halloween, that building will have lots of decorations on. It'll have banners on whenever we're celebrating anniversaries of the park, all that kind of stuff. That's like a focal building at the end of the street, so I want to make sure that looks good. I'm thinking that's like the town hall of this Mediterranean area that we've got. And talking about names, before I get onto it in a moment, I have picked a name, by the way, for this park, and I've also picked a name for the roller coaster, which I'll reveal those in the next couple of minutes. But yeah, talking about names, think about a name for me for this actual area in general. Obviously, I know it's the main entrance to the park, but I don't just want to call it entrance. Obviously, it's a Mediterranean style set, so if you guys could come up with like a Mediterranean, maybe Spanish sounding name for this entrance, something what would still make sense in what is a British huge park as well, you know, so think about that. But yeah, I'd like to see your suggestions for that one. Obviously, let's talk a little bit about Toverland at the moment. They're building a brand new entrance area, but they're not just calling it entrance, they're calling it Port Laguna, and that looks fantastic. That's got like a bit of water in the middle and all these different buildings all themed around magic, and it looks stunning, it really does. If you've not actually seen it, then get yourself over to the Toverland official YouTube channel and also on their Facebook page, where they're doing like a making of series where they show them building the entrance and the new themed area of Avalon as well. You got a B&M wing coaster going in there. It's got a beautiful blue track that's going to be going over the water, and that's called Phoenix. And yeah, I can't wait to get out there and experience it later in the year. But yeah, keep commenting and let me know on a name for this actual area in general. Now you can see me starting to put in what is going to be the grand entrance to what is probably going to be the biggest ride on the park in terms of a space it's taking up, and that is the Studio Backlot Tour. Now I've got a few ideas floating around about what I want to do with this, and the time of recording I have started to build a couple of bits for the next episode, so I look forward to sharing number 4 with you in probably just over a week's time. Remember, there's no set date with these Let's Play Planet Coaster episodes. I've got that much stuff going on at the moment with other videos on the channel and other commitments as well, that I didn't want to put out there an exact day that it's going to be done. Also, when I do that, I feel like I might sort of rush the project, and that's something I don't want to do. I want to take my time with it and play the game whenever I can do, and not think, oh right, I've got to get on with an episode, else it's not going to be on ready for Saturday, for example. So for now, anyway, I'm not saying it's going to be like that all the time, but at least for now there's no set date for these episodes, but you can expect one maybe once a week on different days of the week as well, so stay tuned for future episodes. So you can see me just here putting in the details. Obviously you've got the tram there coming out of the building, you got a car, you got like all these barrels, and some steps and things. To be honest, with the Studios Park, it's more about compiling lots of different props and theming to make it look good. I mean, with this I didn't really have much of an idea what I wanted to do. Obviously, with it being a backlot tour, we're going to be using cars, we're going to be using lots of stuff from Studios Pack, and everything you see there on that building, other than the screen, was actually from the Studios Pack. So that just gives you a little idea of what you can get. And I know, to be honest, we've been building this Studios Park for the 3 episodes now, and you've not really seen much in terms of the actual Studios theming yet. In the next episode, that's going to change, because obviously doing this backlot tour, it'll be a long episode, and if you've got any suggestions for that, again, comment down below. I look forward to seeing it. Like I say, I've only started with a couple of bits for that. There's still so much space, there's a lot of room to fill. You can see here I'm putting in what is a staff room, or you might call it a green room, and yeah, that's something what they imported into the game well, quite a while back, a few months ago. I'm not sure on the exact date they did that. So yeah, basically I'm putting them into this as well. We've got to think about operations and how it's going to run in terms of staffing. That's something I didn't really cover that much in the last series, and I definitely want to focus on that with this one. Anyway, I'll leave you for a couple of minutes, let you see some more of the buildings going just here. As I mentioned, it's all the same sort of style buildings going in, so I didn't want it to be too long of an episode, because you get the gist of what I'm doing with these buildings, and I must say it looks quite nice. I'm pleased with it so far. There's still a lot of details I want to put in, and that's something I'll definitely do at a later date. Here's a little bit of theme park music, then I'll come back to you in a couple of minutes. So as you can see, the entrance area of the park now is starting to look nearly complete. I mean, I will come back to it later in the series and do a few more details and things. But yeah, I feel like it could open to guests really quite soon, which is good. I mean, 3 episodes in, I feel like we're progressing quite well with this one so far, which is good. Anyway, in the next episode, like I mentioned earlier on, I'm going to be working on the tram tour. I'm not too sure if that's going to span across 2 episodes. It might do because of how much details there's going to be on there. I'm thinking about putting in maybe 4 major scenes with a few little scenes in between, and obviously a lot of trees and stuff around as well. Not going to be using tropical style trees there because I wanted to have more of a generic feel to it. Like I say, this park, as much as it looks very Mediterranean, that's just because of this set piece, so to speak, at the entrance, this Mediterranean harbour that we've got here that I want you to name, so comment below. Anyway, let's talk about names for this ride and the park. We'll start off by talking about this B&M Floorless Coaster that I built in the last episode. So many fantastic names suggested by you guys. I really struggled to pick, but one that I really liked and I thought really went back to the whole studios feel of this park was this name just here from for the B&M Floorless Coaster, from Coaster Chow, and he's actually said that the name of the ride should be SF Expedition. So obviously in the movies and things you use things called SFX, but instead of just SFX he said SF Expedition. So I really like that. I thought that was a bit of a tongue twister saying all that, and the theme of it, this abandoned backlot and the effects are being brought back to life by the spirits of Hollywood that ran this studio backlot 30 years ago. Quite a simple backstory, but I really like that. So thank you very much to Coaster Chow for coming up with that fantastic name. Now let's talk about the park. And to end this episode, let's name the park. Now, so many fantastic names have come in, and this has been a really tough one as well, but a comment was put in on the last episode. I know you've been commenting across the past 2 episodes with it, and I've decided that the name of the park, it really fits with the Mediterranean entrance, the overall feel and look that I want to go with for this park. And yeah, we're going to call it Ocean Bay Studios. So very much big thank you to the YouTube channel British Brick for coming up with that one. And yeah, Ocean Bay Studios, the name for this park. And there we go. That leads us to the end of the episode. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Like I say, the buildings and things have really come on now, and in the next episode we'll continue with the series and start to build our backlot tour. The track's already in, that might change and things as we go on, but we'll start to add the theme in and see how it goes. I'm Sean Sandbrook, thank you very much for watching our Planet Coaster series here on Theme Park Worldwide, and that means it's time to cue those credits. See you later, guys.